Welcome to Alexander Hamilton Memorial Free Library's virtual program, Preserving the Harvest. This is the second program in our series that takes a look at preserving foods at home. Today's program will feature the popular garden vegetable green beans, which we will be canning. In last week's program, we discussed the basics of home canning, so you will want to go back and watch that program to learn or refresh your memory on canning procedures. So let's begin today's Preserving the Harvest program, green beans. If you grow your own beans in your garden, you need to be sure to pick them while they are still tender. You can also purchase your green beans in bulk at local farm stands or farmer markets. Their produce is normally fresh and works better for preserving than grocery store purchased beans. You will want to check to see that the beans are crisp and snap easily. At this point, I snap the ends off of the green beans. Now you'll want to rinse your green beans to be sure any dirt or dried leaves are not sticking to the beans. If you would like your beans a little crisper for snapping, you can soak them in ice water for 15 to 20 minutes and then rinse them clean. Next, you will want to snap your beans. I normally snap them in 1 to 1.5 inch pieces. As you can see here, I have assembled what I will need to can my green beans. I have the quart jars, the jar flats and rings, and my canning salt. Today I'm going to be canning my green beans using the raw pack method. Some of you who may already can may use the hot pack method, where you must boil your beans for approximately 5 minutes prior to putting your beans into the jars. For green beans, I prefer the raw pack method, so that is how we will be doing our beans today. Pack the green beans tightly into the canning jars. Add 1/2 teaspoon of salt to pint jars and 1 teaspoon of salt to quart jars. In canning, it is best to use canning salt or uniodized salt. Salt with iodine can make your vegetables too soft. Fill the jars with water to 1.5 inches from the top. Some directions will say boiling water and others will not. I simply use tap water that has run long enough to be very hot. The next step, you will seal your jars by adding the jar flat and the ring. Be sure that the ring is screwed on tightly. The next step is adding our water to our pressure canner. You need to be sure to use the amount of water recommended in your instruction manual for your canner. In this case, my instructions tell me to add 3 quarts of water. Add your jars to the canner. Next, you're going to put the lid on the canner and twist it so that the canner is sealed. We're going to be processing our beans in the pressure canner at 10 pounds pressure. Follow your directions for bringing your canner up to pressure. Once it's reached the 10 pounds of pressure, you're going to process pints for 20 minutes and quarts for 25 minutes. When the time has elapsed, turn the heat off. You must wait until the pressure is completely released and the pressure valve drops. Then you can remove the lid from the pressure canner. Now you can remove the jars from the pressure canner and transfer them to your counter to cool. Once the jars are cool, they are ready to be transferred to your storage shelf, so they're available for you during the winter. Thank you for joining us for today's program on canning green beans. Please remember that if you plan to do any home canning, it is important to have the right canner and accessories and to follow the directions that are provided. We hope you will join us next week when we take a look at canning lime pickles.